Hey guys, Jake here. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be running you guys through a chest and tricep workout in the gym. I've got the whole gym to myself, so you can't ask for better than that. Now before I do get into that though, if you're new here, on this channel, I post anything to do with travel and fitness, sometimes combining the two. And if you like that sort of content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you see more videos when I post content in the future. So with that being said, let's get into this workout. Okay, so before we get into the chest and tricep workout today, I'm going to go through a bit of a stretching and mobility drill. I'll show you guys what I normally like to do. Really important to stretch and mobilize before you start any sort of intense workout. The first one I like to do is just to hang from like a pull-up bar. Really good for stretching out the lower back. So basically just find a pull-up bar. Now you'll see that I'm hanging, but what you want to try to do is relax your muscles in your back, which is going to allow the space in your vertebrae to open up. Sometimes you'll even get a nice click. I know that I do. So the idea is you don't want to hang for too long, maybe only like 10 to 15 seconds max. Drop, shake it out, and then do it again. You can do that maybe 3 to 5 times. So I'm relaxing my body. Really lengthening the spine and stretching that out. Another one I like to do, most gyms will have like a long stick like this. I mean, if you were doing a home workout, you could even use a broom or something. Grab it nice and wide, over, rotating the shoulders. You can pop the stick on your back and do some hip twists. And then another good one is like an external rotation. So I'm gonna pop the stick in between my thumb and my finger, behind the shoulder, elbow down to the side, and I'm just going to gently pull that stick up. Really good way to stretch through the rotator cuff. You can also do it the other way, so grab the stick down the bottom, other hand up the top, and then gently pull it down. Now you're stretching the shoulder the other way as well. So obviously I'll do that on both sides. And another good one would be just like a mid-back stretch. So placing the stick out in front, you're gonna reach back. You can do that 3 to 5 times on each side. And lastly, any upper body workouts I ever do, I always do this like shoulder rotator cuff warm-up exercise. So you're just grabbing some light dumbbells, very light, in a shoulder press position, and you're just going to go down and up, keeping the shoulder and the elbow still, rotating through that motion, warming up the rotator cuffs. Might do 5 to 10 reps. Okay, and then while we're here, we can do 5 to 10 side raises. Five to 10 front raises. And 5 to 10 rear delt flies as well. You can do some presses. So I'm really just warming up and mobilizing the shoulder joint before I go and start doing any heavy bench press. Okay, so we are starting with my favorite staple chest exercise. I'm old school, can't help it, the flat barbell bench press, okay? Now, obviously, I have already done the stretching and the warm-ups that I showed you before. So I'm gonna start with 60 kilos. The bar weighs 20, got 20 on each side, 60 kilos. I mean, for me, like that's an okay warm-up weight, but obviously go by your strength level. You might need to warm up with the bar first, or even doing a set of push-ups is a great way to warm up too. But make sure you do like 1 or 2 warm-up sets before you get into your working sets. I'm gonna be aiming for 3 working sets. So I'm probably gonna do 2 warm-up sets and then get into my first working set, all right? So getting started with the first one. Now, I like to have my hands sort of just wider than shoulder width. And I personally do use the suicide grip, which means thumbs this way. Some people don't like that. I understand why. it's definitely probably safer to have your thumbs wrapped around the bar. So if you feel more comfortable doing it that way, do it that way, okay? But like, I've been training for a long time, and me personally, I just like the way it sits in my hands when I do it like that with the suicide grip. So I'm gonna unrack the bar, control down to my chest, to the middle of the chest, strong push on the way up. Gonna be aiming for 8 reps for this first warm-up set, although I've already lost count. Okay, slowly down, strong up. I'm gonna do 2 more. Second warm-up set, I've thrown another 10 on each side, so now we've got 80 kilos on the bar. Again, like with the warm-up, you don't want to tire yourself out. You don't want to fatigue yourself. That's why I'm only going to do maybe like 6 to 8 reps here. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. All I'm doing is just getting the joints and the muscles warmed up and ready for that heavier weight once we get into the working sets. All too often I see people come into the gym and they slap, big heavy weights on straight away without warming up. It's a recipe for disaster. That's you asking for an injury. Let's say 6 reps here, still warming up. So I'm moving up to 100 for my first working set. I didn't have the best breakfast this morning, so let's see how my strength goes. Gonna run through some more tips on the bench press, just with the positioning and retracting your scapula, which means getting your shoulders back before you start pressing. If you don't get your shoulders back and you press with your shoulders forward like that, the shoulder comes forward, that's gonna potentially cause injury, and it's bringing more front delt into the movement, not as much pecs, okay? So a little tip that you can do to get your shoulders back out of the equation and engage more chest is retract the scapula. And I'm gonna show you some little tricks with the positioning with your legs as well, so that you can, believe it or not, you can actually get drive through the floor from your leg, through your legs into your chest, which is gonna allow you to press that heavier weight too, okay? So first of all, I'm gonna have my feet back a little bit, not forward like this. That doesn't give me any drive or any tension, okay? So put my feet back like so. Now, I'm going to shrug my shoulders up, back, and down. Lay down on the bench. From here, like I said, feet back, shoulders back, chest out. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to lift my body off the bench. I'm gonna go back that way, and then I'm gonna go forward that way with my bum is gonna end up further down the bench this way, okay? So I'll show you. So I'm gonna go up, back, forward, shoulders down, bum down. Now as you can see, I have this torque or this tension from my foot through my leg, and I'm gonna be pressing down with my feet while I'm pressing up with my arms, okay? Pushing through the chest. That's gonna give me more drive in the bench press, okay? I want you to try this position. So I'm gonna show you one more time really quickly. So I'm gonna lift myself up, back, forward, down, okay? Now I'm in my bench press position. From here, I'm going to unrack the weight and begin the lift. So as you saw there, I got 12 reps at 100, but having that positioning on the bench allows for much more drive through the chest and taking the shoulders out of the equation bringing in more pecs. Okay, so just got done 3 sets, 3 working sets total for the flat bench. Now I'm gonna move on to my second exercise, which is gonna be a dumbbell incline press. Okay, so we did the flat, targeting the middle of the chest. Now we're gonna do on an incline bench, it's gonna target more the upper chest. All right, so just wanna explain something with what angle you should be using with the incline press. This is kind of like 45-degree angle. That's typically what I like to do. It's anything less than that, it's gonna hit your upper chest a little bit, but not as much as you want, okay? However, if you went up again, this is going to still hit your upper chest, a bit more higher, but it's gonna bring in a little bit of shoulders. Once you're getting like this angle and more, it's not really on the chest very much anymore, it's more shoulder, okay? So me personally, I like around about here, 45 degree. And you wanna angle the seat up a little bit as well. It helps you to sit on the bench. So don't have it flat, you're gonna bring it up a little bit like that. So let's go see which weights I'm gonna be. Well, I guess I might as well go for the big ones, right? Makes sense. 35 kilos seems like the heaviest dumbbells that this gym has. But honestly, I feel like that's probably gonna be enough weight for me today. So let's see. So when you're getting set up on the dumbbell press, you wanna sit down on the bench, dumbbells on the knees. And then you're gonna pop the weights up to your chest as you lay back. Okay, so I'm gonna go 1, 2. 1, 2, get comfortable, and then press the weight up. Obviously, I didn't need to do a warm-up set because I'm already warm. First set, 12 reps, 35 kilos. I was right, that was enough weight for today. I was getting a good burn through the chest there. So I didn't mention this before, but we're doing like 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. That's hypertrophy range, and resting for 60 seconds, thereabouts. 90 if you really needed it, but at least that 60-second mark before I move into the second set. So I'm gonna do 2 more at this, and then move on to the next one. Okay, moving on to the next exercise, third exercise for the workout. I'm gonna do another pressing movement. Sometimes I'll only do 2. Obviously I did flat bench, incline dumbbell, 2 pressing. I'm gonna do a third pressing movement here because I'm going for higher volume in this workout. So we're gonna do the machine chest press, okay? This one's good because obviously, well, I'm a bit fatigued from the free weight exercises, so I don't need to worry about control. All I need to worry is pressing that weight and controlling the negative rep. So 3 sets of 8 to 12 here, and get into the first set. Make sure the machine is set correctly for you. Handles in line with your chest. Back pressed up against the bench. Strong on the way out, control the weight back. Okay, you do want to keep constant tension. Don't go all the way back like that and lose the tension. You want to keep tension on the chest throughout the movement. So I got 12 reps there. Now, like I said, 8 to 12 is the target rep range. I'm gonna go up a little bit because I felt like I got 12, it was tough, but I felt like I had more in the tank. That's what you can do. When you're trying to figure out how heavy you should be lifting, just go by feel. If you feel like you could do more, go up. If you feel like you were struggling to get technique, go down. If it was like challenging but you could maintain form, stick with that weight for a couple of weeks, then you'd look at increasing it again, okay? That's kind of how you figure that out. All right, 3 sets of the machine chest press done and dusted. Moving on to the next exercise, we're gonna do some fly movements, okay? So we've done all of our presses. Now we're gonna move into flies. Flies is great for getting that stretch through the chest and really, lengthening those muscle fibers, getting those micro tears, building more muscle. So I'm gonna do cable flies today. You can do dumbbell. Today I'm in the mood for cables. I'm gonna do 2 cable fly variations. I'm gonna do from like the higher position, so sort of like a lower fly, which is gonna target that middle to lower part of the chest. Then I'm gonna move on to a upper cable fly, which is a very good one for the inner and upper part of the pecs, because especially for you guys out there watching, if you want a nice full chest, but if your upper chest is lagging, you're not going to get that effect. So don't skip out on upper chest. Okay, so let's start with the first set. 8 to 12 reps is the target. Okay, so we're going to take the weight. Now, I like to stand 1 foot in front, 1 foot back, because that gives me more stability in my stance. I'm gonna start out here, slight bend in the elbow, okay? I'm gonna bring it back slowly, get a stretch through the chest, squeeze in the middle. So once you're in that stance, you ideally don't wanna be moving or swinging your body. All of the work is coming through your chest. Get a stretch, squeeze the chest in the middle. What that will do is just change the way you feel that a little bit more in that middle part of the chest. Okay, they're both good. They just target the chest in a slightly different way. Squeeze, control. That was 1 set. I'm gonna rest for 60 seconds. 2 more sets of that, then I move on to my upper flies. Okay, moving on to the next chest fly, which is gonna be the upper cable flies, targeting the upper chest. So we're gonna set the cable down to the bottom position. Typically it'll be a little bit lighter than what you were doing for the other variation. You don't wanna go too heavy because technique and form is really important with this one. So standing in the middle, feet together, slight bend in the elbows. This is the starting position. You're gonna take the handles up and out away from your body. Try to get that 1 to 2 second squeeze in the middle. 1, 2. That's why I'm really gonna feel it there in that upper middle part of the chest, okay? So not doing a lot of swinging with your body. Squeeze, control. Okay, second set for the upper chest flies, aiming for 8 to 12. Second rest. Gonna do 1 more set of that and then move on to the next exercise. All right, next up, we're gonna move on to triceps. That's it for chest. I might do some push-ups at the end just to burn out the pecs, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. We've already done 5 exercises for the chest, 3 sets of each, so that's a fair bit of volume. I'm gonna move it to triceps now, okay? So what I'm thinking I wanna start with is the tricep dips. This does actually hit your chest a little bit, especially if you're leaning forward in the movement. The more vertical your body is, the more tricep, but it's gonna do a bit of both. So I'm gonna be aiming for, let's say 10 to 15 reps for this one. See how those fatigue levels are treating me. Okay, 1 set down, 2 to go. Okay, next up for the triceps, second tricep exercise for the workout. Again, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. We did 10 to 15 on the dips. I'm gonna do a variation of an overhead tricep extension with the easy bar. The easy bar means it's got the curve in the handles, okay? Now, the difference between that and a straight bar is it just feels a little bit easier on the elbows and the wrists with having that curve, okay? So we're gonna pick it up, close grip. I'm gonna be holding it in close, in the middle. Moving over to an incline bench. You can do this exercise on a flat bench. However, I think the incline bench is better. So what we're gonna do is first, as we lay back, kick the weight up to our chest, like so. Press it up. Now from here, elbows still, control the weight down behind the head and extend it up. Down to the chest, onto the knees, and onto the floor. Now I think I'm gonna add some more weight for the next set because that one felt way too easy. I'm gonna put on another 10, see how we go. Okay, I got to 12. It was a struggle. However, I was able to maintain form. So that's right where you want to be by the end of the set. So, you know, almost to that failure point, not quite to failure. But like I was saying before, for the next set then, I'm probably going to keep it the same weight. If I get 12, fantastic. If I only get 10, still good. I'm falling within that 8 to 12 rep range. It's not too hard that I'm losing form too early, or it's not too easy that I'm getting to the end of the set and feeling like I had more in the tank. So again, go by feel when you're trying to figure out how heavy you should be lifting. So we're going to do 3 sets of 8 to 12 with the cable tricep press down. What you want to do is bring your elbows down beside your body, slight bend in the knees, leaning over slightly, and you're trying to extend your arms all the way straight. Because when your arm gets straight, that's when you can really squeeze and engage the tricep. We want to avoid our arms moving like that. Try to keep the elbows perfectly still, locking out the tricep at the bottom. All right, for the purpose of not making this video too long, I didn't show you the second and third set, but just got through 3 sets, 8 to 12. Last tricep exercise for the workout. It's going to be a isolation exercise, meaning it's only isolating one part of the muscle. It's going to be a cable tricep pull down variation, single arm, okay? So you're just gonna use the cable with no attachment. Now, definitely wanna make it lighter here, so I'm gonna choose a lighter weight. I don't even know how heavy that is. It just says 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to go by feel and see, if it feels good or not. And that feels good for this. So the way this one works is you're going to take the cable, again, elbow down beside the body, keep the elbow still. We're gonna lock the arm out straight and squeeze, engage the tricep, control it back up. And it's going to be 10 on one side, 10 on the other, 3 times through with no rest. So let's see if we can do the whole thing with no rest. 1 second squeeze at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to switch straight over to the other side. Okay, so elbow beside the body. Okay, and we're going to go back now to the other one. So you see what I'm doing. I'm just going from side to side, 10 on one side, 10 on the other. Okay, right side again, second time through. Elbow still, squeeze the tricep. Okay, last one. So even though it sort of felt a bit easy at the start, but obviously because you're doing back to back to back and you're not resting, it gets hard pretty quickly. That fatigue starts to set in. We need 3 more. 1, 2. Okay, last side. Just a really good finisher for the end of the workout. Finish your triceps, burn them out. And if you do that right, your arms should feel like balloons at the end of that. Okay, we're almost done. I'm gonna finish off with one last exercise, push-ups, just burning out that chest that little bit more, just to make sure that the chest is well and truly cooked for today's workout. So I'm gonna aim for 60 reps and I'll just do as many as I can and then I'll rest for a little bit and then I'll go again, okay? So it's just one set, 60 reps is the goal, and I'll get them done as fast as possible. So let's get into it. Okay, I got 40 in one go. Gonna take a bit of a break, 20 more. Okay, I can safely say chest is cooked, 60 reps. So I got 40, I got 10, and then 5 and 5, I think. Now, you know, doing your push-ups at the end of the workout is a lot harder than doing them at the start, but you don't always need to do it like that. But the benefit of that is it's really building that muscular endurance. And if you can do 60 push-ups at the end of a chest workout, you know, imagine how many you can do at the start of a chest workout. So that's the idea with that. And there you have it, chest and tricep high volume workout, done and dusted. I hope you guys enjoyed it. check this video out, save it to your phone, take it with you to the gym next time and follow along with me. As always, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel. It's much appreciated. And of course, don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you get notified when I post more videos like this. As always, thanks so much for tuning in and I'll see you in the next video.